Hey guys, welcome to the I Can Speak To podcast where everyone can speak. We can just speak in different ways. I'm your host, Portia B. So guys, I'm very excited to be back with episode 9 after a very long and restful spring break. I did lots of spring cleaning. I got some reading done and really just had some me time. So I hope you guys had a really good spring break too. So if you're new to I Can Speak To podcast, you can follow me on I Can Speak To with a numerical 2 on Instagram. Or you can follow me on YouTube at the I Can Speak To podcast, and you can check out my old previous episodes that are from season 1 as we are on season 2 right now. So as always, before we start the episode, I have some great icebreakers, and I love to show you guys my books that I'm currently reading or anything I just got. And today I'm going to tell you about a movie too. So let's get to it. So first, I'm going to tell you guys about this really awesome manga that I've started. Well, really it's an anime. It's called Demon Slayer. And I've started reading that, and it's about a guy whose family gets slaughtered completely by demon slayers while he's out trying to sell coal. And it causes him to somehow get unraveled in this journey of becoming a demon slayer and just trying to save his sister, who accidentally gets turned into a demon. But it's not what you think. She's a very special individual demon. But it's a really, really cool show. And season 1 is on Netflix right now. I probably sound like a complete nerd right now. But that's okay. And I went to go look at the movie yesterday because it's like season 1, and then after season 1 there's a movie, and then season 2 is coming out. But the movie just came out Friday and it was awesome. It's called Demon Slayer Munjin Train. And it was really, really good. So check that out if you've never heard of Demon Slayer. Also, I just finished a book called None Shall Sleep. And if you're really into, let's say Silence of the Lambs, CSI, Criminal Minds, like stuff like that, I think you'll really like this book. It's basically about this girl who survives a serial killer, and she gets asked to help the FBI investigate, really just do interviews for juvenile serial killers that are in jail, but it turns out to be way more, and she got in over her head. There's an active case, and there's this really, really, really insane sociopath that's a teenager. His name's Simon Guthmanson, and he sets his eyes on her, and that's where the terror really begins. So check out, it's called None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney. Very, very good read. And if you guys like books as much as I do, I want you to follow my Instagram page, The Book Hole Club, because I review books on there, so check that out. So anybody that's been looking at the podcast knows that I love Junji Ito, who is, he makes horror manga. So I recently just picked up his recent book. It's called Love Sickness. And again, it's just a whole bunch of collection of short horror stories. But I believe it's just about a town that's plagued with girls killing themselves after encountering a really extremely handsome young man. And I think that's the main story. So a young guy comes in town. He's starting to try to investigate, and so he can close the case in a sense. But it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. Junji Ito is so good. I just personally love him so much. His books so much. And they're just really entertaining and fun to read. So it's really awesome. Hey, Becky. Also, the last book that I have to show you guys is The Girl with the Louding Voice. And I'm very excited about this one because I'm going to read it with one of my really close friends. Her name's Andrea. And this story is about a young girl who strives. She wants an education. And in her country, the education is coming second. So she really has this different journey, just learning to grow and become a woman that she is, and set out to reach her dreams and strive to get her education the way that she wants to. And I think that she has a lot of struggles that she goes through, just different things and different events that happen in her life. But I'm just really interested in this one. It is by a POC. So I'm very excited about this and just having a buddy read. And of course, it is a book of the month. I am a book of the month subscriber, so I'm very excited about those. And I hope you guys will check out one and then let me know on YouTube. You can comment or let me know on my Instagram page, the Book Club. So since we did our icebreakers, next we are going to go into episode 9, which is called Planting Kindness to Earth and to Each Other. And I think that's a really great title because I love talking about kindness, and I think it's important that we're kind to each other and we're kind to Earth. So we have some signs today too. We also like to do the sign of the day. So our signs are going to be thank you, and we're going to do love. So before we go any further, we're going to start our topic points. So what is kindness? Everybody knows what kindness is for the most part. We think about it in different ways, but kindness is really just being friendly, being considerate of other people's feelings and things of that nature. Being kind is a human thing. I feel like most of us are genuinely, we have it in our hearts to be kind to others, and it's the best expression we can do to give and receive to others. A lot of times we want to receive kindness. So, my mom used to always say, treat people how you want to be treated. And I think that gives to show that it's very important. So if you want others to be kind to you, you should also be kind. And it should just be, kind of a natural thing, a human thing, and natural to be a kind person, and to show that and be considerate of others. So an example for kindness for kids might look like, supporting a friend, saying hello to someone that you might see, or, you could have walked past, or sharing, things of that nature. When kids are younger, they're all like, mine. So we'll get into that later, but that's part of the development process. But those are just some examples of how we can be kind, or how children can be kind. It's just kindness can look different for different ages, and also the different scenarios or situations that we're in. So the second part I wanted to talk about was the importance of kindness. So we are teaching and raising the next generation. And I don't know how people feel about this, but sometimes I feel like the world that we live in can be cruel sometimes. It's can be hard to go out and feel like we have to be kind, or we need to be kind when the world's not so kind to us, or not kind to our people, things of that nature. So I just feel like it's important to keep in mind that we want our future leaders and those children and those children's children to have different thought processes. We want them to be kind. We want them to be considerate of others. We want them to show reconciliation. We want them to be diverse in nature. We want them to be We want them to be loving. We want them to have virtue, gratitude, all those things of that nature. And I feel like we have the perfect position as teachers and parents as well, have the perfect position in a child's life to impact them and show them what kindness truly is. And I think that's extremely, extremely important just for our future of this world. Also, we have the ability to share our stories and make changes with children. That goes again with how I said we are teaching the next generation. We have the ability to share our stories and show children why kindness is so important. Just seeing the benefits of kindness and, welcoming other people, loving other people, things of that nature, and how it can really change the world. I also want to talk about understanding and teaching what kindness means. I feel like kindness is more than just saying, thank you to someone, or like I said earlier, by the example, sharing your toys. I feel like kindness is also about explaining empathy to children, even when they're young in age, having them to understand how to relate to someone else. We have many friends who go through things, or we go through things, and we want someone to talk to us, to support us, to understand what we're going through, to understand how we feel. And it hurts. It doesn't feel good when somebody's not there for you or doesn't support you, or somebody can't listen to you at the moment. But it feels good when someone has a gentle word for you, and is a kind, gives you a warm hug. Those things make us feel good, and those are the ways that we can show empathy and we can show kindness to one another. I think it's important to realize that during child development, children begin to act on compassion. So they'll start to learn that they have to be more inclusive. I feel like in the beginning of development, children, there's that, is it Erickson? The stage where it's all about them. When you're growing up in the world, children think the world revolves around them. And that's just something that they have to grow through because they're young. And it's always, like I said earlier, mine, 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 mine. So I feel like the older children grow and the more they develop and more that we teach them, they're able to be more inclusive in their mindset and understand that, okay, this is not just mine. Other people's feelings matter too. And I can share things with people. It doesn't always have to be about me. But like I said, that's something that's learned, that's something that's taught, and that has something to be practiced with children. So, talking about practice, how can we practice this with our children or our students? So we have to support inclusion. So I have a nasty habit of saying, what can I do today? What can I do today? What can I do today? And I think with children, when you have a child, it can be very important to promote inclusion and teaching them that compassion aspect by saying, what can we do today? So, you're not only trying to make plans for yourself, but you're also trying to make plans for that child. So, you're making them feel a part of the situation. And I feel like if you're practicing that, it may seem very small and tedious, but over time, a child will understand that that's a compassion. That's you showing that you want to share your day with them. You don't know how that could be implemented for them when they go to school. They may ask their friend, what can we play together? What can we do today on the playground? What should we play with? Those things show that inclusion that we need in this world and the kindness that we need in this world. Also, this helps teach, like I said, inclusive language. Also with inclusion, I think it's important that, children play with children of different ethnicities, children of different abilities, learning the progress of how we can grow each other, how we can play with one another, promoting, those different relationships with people that may not be like us. I think that's also an important part of kindness too, because when a child grows up and they go into the world, they're going to encounter many different people that are not like them. They're going to encounter people that don't walk like them, that don't see like them, that don't talk like them. And, in order to be able to separate, okay, I don't have to judge. I can like somebody regardless if they're different from me, if they look different from me, whatever it may be. They can still show kindness to one another because you've instilled that in them at such a young age. And that sticks forever. All right. Also, if you have a child that's young, I think you can also teach kindness and empathy during pretend or dramatic play. You can practice empathy. So that might look like playing doctor. You go, oh, doctor, I'm so sick. I don't feel good. He say, what's wrong? Kids might say, what's wrong? Let me check you out. Let me give you a checkup. Maybe you need a Band-Aid. Does that make you feel better? That's showing empathy. That's showing compassion. Or even taking care of a baby doll. Showing them those things. That's teaching kindness and instilling it. I personally see a lot of times my kids, they have doctor kits in the classroom, and they're, always like, let me check you. I didn't even say I was sick, but they want to check on me and make sure I'm not sick, or they want to put the fake Band-Aid on me, or they want to check my ears, things like that. So that's them practicing their kindness and empathy and showing concern for others, which is really awesome and very, very important. I think another way also, like I said before about the inclusion play is very important, but also with children who may not speak or nonverbal, I think it's also important to teach children how to be playful with them and be compassionate with them and kind to them and treat them as they are treating themselves. You know, I very, very strongly believe in a classroom that is full of inclusion, everyone playing with each other, everyone being kind with one another. You know, rifts happen with children, but I think that it's important that that environment builds so much diversity, inclusion, and kindness, and it just has a real power to break through, especially for your children in the future. Starting them off in those type of environments and also carrying that inclusion and kindness at home is very, very important. All right, so I also want to talk about another way to practice kindness, which I do all the time. I love to read. Reading is very important. You know, there's books about everything. There's books about washing your hands. There's books about no biting. There's books about tying your shoes. There's books about eating your meal for mealtime and not being such a picky eater. And obviously there's books about kindness and showing compassion to others. So I think it's important that you can start reading about these topics to your children right before bed. And, you know, even talking about it the next day. Remember what we read the other night? What's the way that we can practice that together today? Practice, 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 practice. And I always say this on the podcast, but everything that we do is about rituals. You have to teach a child over and over and over and over and over and over again. They don't get something one time. So I think that the more you practice with a child, the more you implement that in their life and make it important, it sticks. Also, modeling that kindness and practicing manners. We just said the sign for thank you. Teaching your child how to say thank you and you're welcome, please. Those are ways to practice manners, and those exemplify kindness to others. So I think those are important. And also modeling kindness to your child. I say this all the time, and I've talked about it before. I think I did on the episode about badass behavior. And I think that it's just important to understand that you can discipline a child and you don't have to be mean about it. You know, you can still model kindness even in your discipline. So doing those things with a child is extremely important. All right, so we talked a lot about kindness, and I have a really cool activity I wanted to show you guys that I did. So I'm going to get it. And it's just a little craft. It's basically a kindness rainbow cloud. And I used nothing but construction paper. And I cut out the colors. You could do purple too. I didn't have purple construction paper. But you can just write the child's name and write some different ways about them, some different characteristics that they have that, you know, that make them feel good about themselves. So I just wrote some about me. I wrote that I'm talented, I have kindness, I can be respectful, I'm smart, and I can be helpful. So I think this is just really cool craft to do with your kids and just remind them of the different characteristics that you see in them, and you can also encourage them to practice things with you. Well, how can we be more respectful today? How can we show that we can be more helpful? Maybe we can help mommy or daddy clean up. How can we show our kindness? Or just reminding them how talented they are so that they can keep striving towards their goals. And that's kindness you're showing towards your children. So I think that this is a really fun craft that they can do that can remind them. And you can always make more of these or add more rainbow strips to them. And they can decorate their name at the top and put in pretty colors, whatever it may be. But I think this is a really cool craft that they can hang up in their room and just have a reminder of all the ways that you believe that they are, and just promote that kindness with them. All right, so I do have a book pick for this week, and it's called Kindness Makes Us Strong, and it's by Sophie Beer. And I actually saw this book, and I thought it was really cute. The illustrations are really, really pretty, And it just shows you how kindness pays off in the world. And I love how diverse the book is. It has all sorts of different kids and different colors, and that's why I love to see. And it just shows you how important kindness is and how important it is to love and help each other. So I think that you should check it out. It's called Kindness Makes Us Strong by Sophie Beer. And last but not least, we have a quote of the day, obviously. And this quote is saying, there is power in kindness. And there is power in kindness. And we've talked about the power in kindness. So there is power in kindness. I am not sure who had that quote. I kind of feel like I thought about the quote on my own because I don't remember looking one up. So I'm just going to say this quote is by me. There is power in kindness. So I'm just going to say it's by me. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 9, Planting Kindness to Earth and to Each Other. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Thanks for watching the I Can Speak To podcast, and always remember, there is power in kindness. That's our quote of the day, and remember to pick up Kindness Makes Us Strong by Sophie Beer.